it's really hurting, huh?
I'm trying not to take pain medicine because it makes me drowsy, but I might have to. This hurts.
Oh boy.
You left.
Yeah, okay. And it's closed too right now, right?
You what?
And you closed it out so it won't echo. You closed that window.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If you go to your view, or go to that view up here, you can change that to gallery view so that you can see more of who's in there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Okay. All right. We're going to do Veronica with DTI access. She's got 2 cases today. Do you have the notebook?
Yeah.
Okay. Case 387 and 388.
387.
Miss Veronica, can you hear us?
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes. So you've got 2 cases, Natalie Garcia and Sarah Cobble.
Yes.
I don't show that they showed for the hearing today, so you get to go first.
Okay, awesome. Let's see here.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Well, thank you. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Just a little chilly.
It's a little chilly. Hopefully we'll actually get some rain out of this today.
Right?
And I like it when it comes as rain, not as snow or especially ice.
I agree. Yes, sir.
Let's see. You are seeking to evict Natalie Garcia. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir. Yes, sir.
All right. And what I'm going to do this morning is, if you please raise your right hand, be sworn in. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay, thank you. And on what grounds are you seeking to evict Natalie Garcia? Yes, you agree.
No payment of rent.
Okay. And they have not filled out a CDC declaration.
No, sir.
Okay. And you don't think that they probably will, or that they
No, sir. From my understanding, they informed us that they would be moving, so we gave them a little bit of extra time, and they took a lot of extra time.
I see. Okay. Hold on just one moment. Let me grab a pen.
Yes, sir.
Pardon me. The pen I prefer to use is always in the other room. So anyway, let's see here. I'm showing a monthly rent of $559. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, sir.
And the amount of unpaid rent that you are seeking?
It is, I apologize, $1,118.
$1,118. Okay. And I am showing that they did not, the defendants did not appear today. So I am ruling in your favor. Judgment will be for $1,118 plus the court costs. And bond is set at $559 for an appeal. And that's signed today, December 29th. And on our second case, you are seeking to evict Sarah Coble.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And on what grounds are you seeking to evict Ms. Coble?
No payment of rent.
Okay. And again, no CDC.
No, sir. And they actually turned in their keys yesterday, so I guess we can do a dismissal.
Do a dismissal, okay.
Mhm.
Good. Dismiss this. Well, okay. Do we have anything further this morning?
No, sir, that is all for today.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course. Yes, sir. You have a happy new year. Thank y'all.
Happy New Year.
Okay, those are taken care of. I was supposed to have an attorney in today
Really?
for 2 different cases, but they didn't appear. That's kind of weird. Okay. I'm going to bring over Priscilla Sistos, case number 391.
Okay.
The landlord is not present.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and get this one out of the way. Ms. Sistos, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. I do have you on with the judge now. I do not show that the landlord appeared for court, so the judge is going to take it from here.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Ms. Sistos.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm doing fine. The landlord, Marka, let's see, Surinath Marka has not appeared this morning. And
Okay,
so I'm going to dismiss the case for lack of plaintiff.
okay. Could I give you just a brief, because I need to know what to do from here. Because I don't owe him any rent because,
Ma'am, hold on just a moment.
Yes.
I need to swear you
Okay.
in. Raise your right hand, please.
Yes,
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
yes, I do.
Okay, thank you. Then you may go ahead.
Okay, so as of October the 15th, I had, my rent is $750, and I had given him everything but $235 of that. And so that's what I was owing for October. October. So on November the 23rd, the father of my youngest son went and spoke with him
Ma'am,
and asked how much I owed, and so he paid the $235 what it was owed for October, and then he paid December, all of December's rent. So December's rent is paid.
Ma'am, at this
Okay.
point, the judge is trying to speak to you, so please hold.
Okay.
yes, if you can hold on for just a moment and let me address this. At this point, all this is moot. All this information is moot because I am dismissing this case because the plaintiff
Okay.
did not appear. And so
Okay.
there's no need to present any evidence or anything about this.
Okay.
If the plaintiff, if the landlord refiles, then that would be the time where you would present the evidence just talking about.
Okay. Okay. So as of now, what do I need to do, or what?
As of now, nothing has occurred. That means that this case is dismissed. The landlord would have to refile this case to
Okay.
to proceed. And so it would be better if you just simply wait until it may never happen, or if it does happen, then have all your evidence ready to present to me at that time.
Okay. So really what I'm trying to say is as of starting January, do I pay my rent? Because I have a text message where he says he's not going to accept any calls from me, any text messages, anything, because he had already filed for the eviction. And so what do I need to do? Just wait until he files again?
No, ma'am. If you are still there in the
Yes.
residence, then you must pay the rent.
Okay.
So you must make every diligent attempt to pay the rent.
Okay. Okay. That's what I was needing to know.
Since he didn't show up today, we don't know whether he will refile this or not. We have no clue. May
Okay.
stay, who knows? So we'll just go from there when, depending on what he says when he comes in. Or if.
Okay. Okay. That sounds good.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Bye now.
Okay. Okay, I've got let me see who this is. This is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can I have your name, please? This is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can I have your name, please?
Mercedes Martinez.
Okay, I'm going to put you back on a hold and you'll remain there until it's time to hear your case, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to bring over two defendants. It's DeBrain Rhodes and Latricia Rhodes, case number 389. That's one of the ones that's supposed to have an attorney and there's no attorney present. Okay, Latricia Rhodes and DeBrain Rhodes.
Yes, ma'am.
And Latricia, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I do have you both on with the judge right now. Make sure that you minimize all background noise to the best of your ability and do not speak over each other when talking to the judge, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing all right, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you. We show that an attorney was supposed to make an appearance on your behalf this morning. Is that correct, or has there been a change?
No, Judge, they don't have an attorney.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The
Your
plaintiff
Honor,
has an
I think-
attorney, and the plaintiff's attorney did not show. These are both defendants for the same residence.
Oh, okay. The plaintiff's attorney has not shown. So, so the plaintiff is not shown this morning. Okay.
May I speak, Your Honor?
Yes, you may, sir.
Your Honor, I used the attorney up because the landlord was really on me, and I'm out here by myself, and I'm willing to pay y'all or whatever I owe, and I just need the deadline for me to get out of Emory because they've been real good to me, and I thank God for the time that he extended me just to get my $75,000 worth of stuff out the house. She tried to give me 24 hours, and my wife was in jail. I'm out here alone, and I just said, ma'am, just bear with me. That's it. I'm going to get out your apartment. And, Your Honor, I ain't trying to take too much of your time. Whatever I owe, Your Honor, I will pay. And I just need to know what day I need to get out. And that's all, Your Honor. That's it. I ask you to bear with me. That's it. And that's all I'm trying to do, Your Honor. Move on with my life. That's all I want to do, Your Honor, nothing else.
Okay, that's.
I just want to.
Sir, thank you.
Go ahead.
That's sufficient. Since the attorney is not shown and the plaintiff is not shown in this case, I am going to dismiss it this morning. They may refile, and that at the time you would present your case. Until then, this case is already over. I'm dismissing it currently.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Rhodes, if you have no further questions for the judge, I'm going to go ahead and just remove you from the meeting and you're good to go.
All right. I just wanted to know what day I have to get out the apartment. Or I don't.
You don't.
That's all I need to.
The judge
Thank
has dismissed the case because the plaintiff did not show up. So you're not being evicted at this point.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, let me check this guy in again. 1 second. This is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me? Hello? This is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me? This is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can I have your name, please?
My name's Tay Nguyen.
Oh, okay, I've got you. Okay. Okay, I'm going to put you back over. Actually, Judge, if you want to go ahead and just hear this case number 405.
405, okay.
This is the plaintiff that we have. I do not have a defendant for this case.
Plaintiff, okay. That sounds good.
She just texted me. She said, enter the persistent patient ID, but she doesn't know.
Oh, so she is trying to get into the system?
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't know, Savannah.
What happened?
She's trying to get into the system, but has,
What did she text you, Mr. Nguyen?
I dialed the number that was on the paper that I got in the mail and that you sent me. It told me to enter a persistent patient ID followed by the pound.
Yeah, she needs to enter
And,
that meeting ID on that paper.
That's the same number I have, correct?
Yes, sir.
Let me let her know.
Mr. Nguyen, sounds
Yes,
like,
sir.
sounds like, sounds like the clerk might have been talking with her.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me? Can you
You
hear
were
me?
saying, sir?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I was just saying that the clerk, my clerk, Savannah, sounded like she was visiting with her, trying to get her in. So
Have you been able to reach her, Mr. Nguyen?
I texted her and she doesn't answer yet.
can we come back to this one, Savannah?
Yep, absolutely. If you can just try to help her get in, Mr. Nguyen, I unlocked the meeting, okay?
Thank you.
Okay. We'll do a 5 Points Corporation, case number 410. Actually, scratch that. We'll do case 392, 393, 394, and 395. It's going to be Coronado Crossing, and I have no defendants. Melissa, can you hear us? Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself. I'm showing that you have 4 cases today, Escamilla, Everett, Fields, and Reyes.
Yes.
Okay, I do not have any defendants for you this morning, so the judge is going to proceed from here.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Melissa, if you'll raise your right hand, please, to be sworn in this morning. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. The first case is Coronado Crossing versus Escamilla. Let's see, Israel Escamilla.
Yes.
Okay. And on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
For non-payment of rent?
Okay, and no CDC declaration has been filed,
No.
and you don't anticipate one?
No, sir. And they are actually in the process of moving out right now.
Okay, but you still want to proceed?
I think we'll just dismiss it.
Would like to dismiss it, okay.
Yes, sir.
That makes it simple. And let me dismiss this one. Okay, then going to the second case, Coronado Crossing versus Jessica Everett.
Yes, sir. That's another one. She's moved out.
So you'd like to dismiss that then?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the third one is Coronado Crossing versus Angela Fields.
Yes, sir.
And what is the situation on this?
Again, for non-payment of rent, but on this one, I do have a declaration signed.
Okay, so there is a CDC signed declaration.
Yes, sir.
Are you wanting to contest that declaration?
No, because I know she's getting rental assistance. We just haven't received it yet.
I see, okay. Then in this case, I'm going to show that the defendant did not appear, but a CDC declaration has been filed, which requires that we stay this. Our new regulations, unfortunately, extend the moratorium when a CDC declaration has been filed until January 31st.
Okay.
So it extends it another month beyond
Okay.
thought initially. So how much in back rent are you seeking on this?
For her, it was $2,097.
1,097. When we rehear this case after the stay is over, after the 31st, hopefully sometime after the 31st of January,
Yes, sir.
you can amend that to update that for any additional.
Okay.
That time. But,
Now, at this time, can I add December to that total?
yes, you may. At this point, there's no need to do that until we actually
Okay.
hear the case, and you can add December and January at that point.
Okay.
It will be after
All right.
possibly even February at that point in time.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, as you know, the chances of recovering much at all, gets less and less as these drag on further.
Right.
Very unfortunate situation, and I'm sorry for it. I am showing that the CDC declaration has been filed, and we have stayed until January 31st, till after January 31st.
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything further? I'm showing another Coronado Crossing. Is that your case? Is that Randy Reyes?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a defendant on this case?
Okay.
I'm not sure if we do.
No.
We do not? Okay. Then And if we want to proceed with this, are you seeking Randy Reyes?
Yes.
Okay. And on what grounds?
Non-payment of rent?
Non-payment of rent. And has a CDC declaration been filed?
No, sir.
The monthly rent amount is how much?
$5.99.
$99. Okay. The defendant has not appeared this morning. And how much in back rent are you seeking?
With December's added, 2,396.
And I am ruling in favor of Coronado Crossing. The judgment will be for $2,396 plus the court costs, and bond is set at $599.
Okay.
I'm signing that today, December 31st, 2020. Do we have any further cases this morning?
No, sir.
Okay. And let me just mark the numbers here and
Do you have any further questions, Melissa?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'll go ahead and remove you from the meeting, and then I'll get those judgments out. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm just going to admit this person in real quick and get her checked in, let her know that I see her.
Okay.
This is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me? Hello, this is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can I have your name, please?
Leah Dawson.
Okay, I do have you checked in for court. I'm going to put you on a hold. You're going to remain on hold for a little while, and then we'll bring you back over when it's time to hear your case, okay?
Okay.
All right, next one. Case number 410.
You're gonna have to rename.
Okay. 5 points.
I'm just waiting on Zoom to bring her over. Okay, Tony, can you hear us? Okay, I do have you on with the judge. I'm not showing that Anissa Daly had shown for court this morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good.
You are seeking to evict Anissa Daly, is that correct?
Yes.
And Anissa, I'm showing that she did not appear this morning. And what is the monthly rent amount?
$575 a month.
$575. And how much in, what are the grounds that you're seeking the eviction on? Is it back rent?
Yes, non-payment of rent for 2 months.
Okay. And so that total then would be $1,150. Is that what you're seeking?
Yes.
$1,150 plus the court costs will be the judgment this morning. The bond is set at $575, 1 month's rent, and I'm signing that today, December 29th, 2020. Let's see. And do we have another case this morning?
Nope, just this one.
No, thank goodness for that. Okay, and the judgment for the 1,150. Bond 575.
Have any further questions for the judge this morning?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
Did you have any further questions for the judge this morning?
I don't. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Okay, and then we're gonna do case number 414.
Okay.
And I have Margaret. She is with Smith Enterprises. Margaret, can you hear us?
If you can.
Yes, I'm sorry, I was muted.
Okay. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
Good morning, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
And you are representing Smith Enterprises,
Yes, sir.
and you are seeking to evict James Marshall Barr.
Yes.
On what grounds are you seeking to evict him this morning?
Okay, so he has not paid rent since, he owes us 36, I think I sent the receipt, about $3,600. Let's see if I have to go back to my pictures. He has not paid rent since 11/5. He paid $200. He paid $200 towards rent that he was already behind, and I thought I was under the impression.
Margaret, hold on just a moment. Let me go ahead and swear you in first.
Okay, all right.
You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, thank you. And,
So I was under the impression with the COVID things that we couldn't do the eviction. Then when I finally researched it, we just have a couple of rent places. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me, I was gonna sneeze. When I researched it, then I realized that he had to file paperwork to go to fall under the COVID restriction.
Wow.
And so he never filed any paperwork. He just quit paying rent. And then he would tell me from time to time he was going to community services. He was trying to raise money. But after that last $200 that he paid, he never paid any more money to us. And so he's behind, like, I think it's $3,600 that.
And that $3,600 would be just back rent, no late fees or any other fee.
No, that's just $3,650 is just back rent. $3,650 is the back rent that he owes us.
36.
No late fees or anything. Typically, we didn't charge late fees. We were trying to be, excuse me, allergies. We tried to be pretty forgiving.
Right, sure, and I appreciate that. I'm showing a monthly rent of $850. Is that correct?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
And
he paid the utilities.
okay, I'm setting the bond for appeal at $850.
Okay.
Will go in your favor, and the judgment will be for $3,650 plus the court costs.
Okay.
I'm signing that today. I would say that he may file a before he leaves. There is the possibility that he files a CDC declaration. He has not done that yet. He still possibly could do that. And so that would then require us, if you want to contest that, to come back to court at a later time and, in a week or two and proceed with a CDC declaration hearing.
Okay. Now he did contact me. I contacted him finally yesterday. I guess his brother lives in one of our other places, and told him that we were trying to find him because he quit answering my texts. I mean, he'd stayed in touch with me pretty well, even though he wasn't paying his rent. But and he did say he plans to be out by the 1st. And so I do hope that, but I wanted to go ahead with this because I wanted the judgment.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Then it sounds like you may that this may be finalized then.
Yes, I hope so.
I just wanted to, just so you'd understand the possibilities.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
And that is finalized today, December 29th.
Okay.
Thank you
So
very much.
will we get paperwork in the mail?
Yes, you will.
Okay, great. All right. Thank you very much.
We're going to go back up to the top to 371 and 372. It's one person representing both plaintiffs,
Okay.
and I only have one defendant, so we'll do the one without first.
Okay.
Maureen, this is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Okay. I do have you on with the judge right now. The first case that we're going to do is Charlotte Osborne. Nasser is evicting her.
Yes.
I do not have her here for court today, so the judge is going to proceed with this case from here.
All right, thank you.
Ma'am, if you will raise your right hand, please.
Yes,
You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth,
Yes.
nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank
I do.
Thank you. Then in this first case, you are seeking to evict Charlotte Osborne.
Yes, sir.
And you are representing Karith Nasser.
Yes, sir, I am.
Okay. And on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
Non-payment of rent, sir.
Non-payment of rent. What is the monthly amount of rent?
$9.95
$9.95
per month, yes.
per month. And how much are you seeking in back rent?
I'm seeking, let's see, $21.85.
$21.85. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now, has there been a CDC declaration filed in this case?
Yes.
There has been.
I got a notice that she had signed and sent to the court. I got a copy of that yesterday.
Okay,
But,
so,
you know, we've not gotten any paperwork on it other than that signed paper from her.
so we have received paperwork showing a CDC declaration.
Yes.
Okay. Are you wanting to contest that that declaration?
Yes, sir. We have not heard anything from her. She's not made any effort to contact us since October when we got the last partial payment. And so this is my first time to deal with the CDC declarations. So I really don't know how to proceed, but my owner, of course, obviously is wanting either rent or the house back.
Right. What we will need to do is to set a hearing to contest the CDC so that the defendant would have the right to state their case that that the CDC declaration is legitimate. It would be the responsibility of the plaintiff to present evidence showing that the CDC declaration is not applicable, which means the burden of proof lies on the plaintiff to demonstrate that this person does not meet the CDC requirements. And so I would suggest that you read the CDC declaration very carefully and that you prepare your case based on that. Based on the fact that the CDC declaration has been filed, I am forced to stay this eviction until January 31st. Currently, it has been extended to January 31st, the moratorium, and but the hearing for abatement of the CDC declaration will take place probably within the next couple of weeks. And not sooner than 2 weeks, but within 2 to 3 weeks, we could do that. And if you can prove that the CDC declaration is not applicable, then we could proceed with the eviction at that time. If not, then it is stayed until January 31st.
Okay, sir, do you mind telling me what my options are other than filing if we contest the abatement, what are my options?
If you choose not to contest the abatement, then the eviction is automatically stayed until at least January 31st. Unless
Okay.
there's an extension, obviously. And,
Uh-huh.
and so then we will be hearing all the CDC declarations from the previous 5 months as soon as that moratorium is taken off. And then we will hear each case individually, just almost as if it was a new eviction, but there's no need to file any more paperwork on it. We simply
Okay.
come back,
Okay.
and hear all of these old cases, which is, as you can see, it's going to make it very difficult on our court to handle everything twice. And of course, I feel sorry for all of the landlords and all of the defendants who have to appear twice or possibly even 3 times with the abatement hearings also. So it's a very difficult situation for all of us.
Right. I guess in that case, I would choose not to contest that abatement.
That is up to you, ma'am. And so
Okay.
then this is stayed until currently January 31st, unless we hear.
Okay. All right.
Are we ready for the next case?
Yes, and then we are ready for the next case.
Okay, I'm going to bring over Charla Young.
All right.
Charla Young, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I do have you on with Maureen, who is representing the plaintiff, Ruben Castaneda, and the judge. Just don't talk over each other and make sure you address the judge with respect.
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Young?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If you will raise your right hand this morning to be sworn in. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay. Thank you. And I've already sworn in Melissa representing, or Maureen, I'm sorry, Maureen representing Ruben Castaneda.
Yes.
Okay, and Melissa, you are seeking to evict Charla Young on what grounds?
Non-payment of rent, Your Honor.
Non-payment of rent. What is the monthly rent?
The monthly rent is $9.95.
Okay. And how much in back rent are you seeking?
$3,980.
$3,980. Okay. And Miss Young?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You have a defense this morning.
I'm sorry?
You have a defense in this case this morning.
Do I have a defense?
Yes. In other words, do you have anything to say about this? Can you make the payment on the back rent?
Unfortunately, no, sir, I cannot. I actually got sick and lost my job in September. I reached out to all the places here in town that are supposed to be able to help with rents. And because I do get a little unemployment, they tell me I'm not qualified or they don't have the funds.
I see. And what was your sickness related to COVID in any way?
Not that I know of. I started having heart problems, and then now I have gallstones and gallbladder disease.
These are always difficult cases for me whenever we have situations that come up like this with health considerations. The only defense in an eviction case with back rent owed, of course, is payment of rent. And I am sorry that that with all the attempts that you've made, that you've not been able to come up with the funds necessary. I am legally then going to proceed with the eviction. The judgment will be for $3,980 plus the court costs. And bond for appeal will be set at $995. Do you have any questions, ma'am?
I'm sorry, what do you mean by bond of appeal?
It means that if you wanted to appeal this case to a higher court, if you think that there is some reason that the eviction should not proceed on legal grounds, then you would pay a bond of $995 to the court, and then the case would be moved up to an upper level court to hear the appeal.
Okay.
Yes. And I am very sorry for your situation, and unfortunately have no legal grounds to make any other decision. Do you have any other questions, either party?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. Thank you very much. Go ahead, ma'am.
How long do we have till we have to be out? Because I have 2 little kids that I gotta somehow find.
The period allowed for the appeal process is 5 days. So that would mean that next Tuesday, you would need to be out completely unless you have filed an appeal.
Okay.
And if there are no further questions, then I will let both of you go. Thank you.
Okay, I have no other questions. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank
I
you, sir.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. We'll do Toledo Court. They've got, let's see, he's got 2 cases with Toledo Court, Roy Garcia and Valerie Garcia, case number 401 and 402. Those have no defendants. And then he also has Kennedy Ridge, which we do have defendants on those. So
Okay.
those 2 will be Toledo Court. Drew, can you hear us?
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay, Drew, I'm looking at case 401 is the last 3 seeking to pick Roy Garcia.
All right, let's see here. Those are for Toledo Court, is that correct?
I'm sorry, Toledo Court, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Ray Garcia and Mercedes Martinez.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
Okay, and I'm showing a monthly rent of $825. Let me see. Let me first.
Hold on. I do have a Mercedes Martinez.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Mhm.
Let me bring both parties in and then we'll swear both of you in.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Mercedes, can you hear us?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I do have you and then Drew Galt, who is representing Toledo Court, and the judge all in the courtroom now. Just make sure that you don't speak over each other, and I'll let the judge take it from here.
Okay. Miss Martinez and Drew, if you will both raise your right hands, please, to be sworn in this morning.
Sure.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you both. Drew, You are seeking to evict Ray Garcia and Mercedes Martinez. Mercedes is representing herself in this hearing this morning. I'm showing a monthly rent of $825. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And how much in back rent are you seeking?
There's 2285, which is owed, which is September, October, November, and December.
$22.85.
Yes, sir.
And Miss Mercedes, do you have a defense this morning?
I'm actually waiting. I had talked to the health department and the community development who's going to help me pay it. They are still in the process of processing paperwork due to the fact that they are running behind. There's a lot of people that they're helping, and I had talked to them.
Okay. So
And I asked for paperwork to give to y'all that Drew filled out, and they're not able to give me copies.
What paper was that?
Because I had got exposed to COVID.
Have you
and I wasn't able to work.
You tested positive for COVID, or you were exposed?
I tested positive. I exposed 4 times and tested positive the 5th time.
Tested positive for COVID. And have you then filed the CDC declaration?
Which is that? Never.
No, sir, we never got a CDC form, but we did fill out the assistance form way back in, that may have even been in middle of November, that we filled out our end of the paperwork for her on her behalf, but then we never received any confirmation. We never got any further dealings on it. So that's why we had to process the eviction.
I had talked to Drew when I had got in contact with the community development, and I told him I'm waiting on to hear back, and they didn't happen to call me back till a week later. And he was already in the process of selling the property to somebody else.
And my question is, has a CDC declaration been filed? Have you filed, Ms. Martinez, have you filed a CDC declaration?
I don't know what that is, because this is my first time ever dealing with a paper like that during this COVID process.
We never received the CDC form, Your Honor.
Okay, the CDC form has not been received. Then let me inform both parties of what the situation is. It is the responsibility of the court to make available a CDC declaration form to any defendant in an eviction case. And so the defendant, that is Ms. Martinez, has the right to obtain that form and to file it. It sounds like if she can show that she had a positive COVID test and files then she would be eligible for the CDC moratorium, which means that this eviction would be stayed currently until January 31st. So
could we ask for a continuance on this particular case to find out if her application is processing through or if the payments are on the way?
Yes. In fact, it is kind of automatic under the CDC guidelines, because what would occur is that if the CDC declaration is filed, then this eviction would be stayed until January 31st. So you'd automatically have basically a little over 30 days of continuance because of that. And the case will be automatically reheard after January 31st, probably the first week or second week in February.
Okay.
So,
now, would we need to amend the amount and then also amend that application to whoever the assistance program is to include January?
Yes, you would. Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
we are in a little bit of no man's land at this point, and that is because the CDC declaration has not yet been filed. So what I'm going to do is I am going to continue this per your request. This gets a little bit complex.
Yeah.
This till the January 12th eviction time. If the CDC declaration is filed, then we could actually hear that case on the 12th. It would still be stayed until after January 31st.
Right. I understand.
Complicated, and I apologize for the complications here.
Everything's in limbo right now. I understand entirely.
It is, it's crazy, and everything changes day by day. So
Mercedes, have you talked to, that was through the city, correct?
Yes, the community health. Yeah,
Have you talked to them at all in the last month?
I have to try to get copies for this case. Actually, I have,
Okay.
and they're not able to give me copies.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, how can I get that paper that he's talking about, because I wasn't served the papers. It was actually my boyfriend, not me.
Oh, okay. Well, I can get that form to you. I mean, it's easy. It's just a little one-page form. It's fine.
Okay.
And Ms. Mercedes, both parties, Mr. Garcia and yourself, would qualify separately. If Mr. Garcia does not have grounds, then he could be evicted. He could be evicted based on no grounds, no CDC.
Okay.
So I'm continuing this until January 12th, just because of the confusion.
Not a problem. Yeah, give them a call or whatever. Do you know if that was through the city or through the county?
The city.
Okay. I've got a contact down there. I'll call down there today or shoot them an email and see if I can get an update on it.
Okay.
Okay, then I will let both of you go, and we are scheduled again for January 12th then.
Okay, that'll work.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Drew, don't go anywhere. You got other cases.
Right, Mr. Drew.
I am.
Mr. Drew, then let's see. The next one that I have with Toledo Court is Valerie Garcia.
Yes.
Okay. And do we have a defendant?
No.
No defendant.
No, sir.
Okay. And on what grounds are you seeking to evict Ms. Garcia?
It's non-payment as well for October, November, December for $2,100.
$2,100. Okay. And the monthly rent is $725.
Correct.
Okay. And no CDC declaration has been filed in this case.
Correct.
You're not aware of anything pending?
No, sir. No, sir.
And, given the facts of the case, I am ruling in your favor. The judgment will be for $2,100 plus the court costs, and the bond for appeal is set at $725.
Okay.
And I'm planning that today, December 29th, 2020. Any questions on that case?
No, sir.
No? We just finished the paperwork here and we'll proceed to the next one. Oh,
For the next one, I have a Jennifer Brown with Kennedy Ridge. Ms. Brown, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I do have you on with Drew Galt with Kennedy Ridge and also with Judge Lance Cancino. Just make sure you keep all your background noise to a non-existent because it will cut everyone off that's talking, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
okay. And Drew Galt,
Hello.
you're representing Kennedy Ridge.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you are seeking to evict Jennifer Brown and all occupants?
Yes, sir.
On what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
It's non-payment of rent for November and December. $675 is the rent amount.
$675 is the monthly rent amount,
Yes,
and
sir. So,
$1350.
yes, sir. $1350.
And Miss Brown.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me swear you in this morning. If you'll raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a defense this morning, Miss Brown? Are you able to pay the back rent?
No, sir.
And what has been the reason for the lack of payment of rent?
Cut hours at work.
Your hours have been cut at work. And,
Yes, sir.
and do you have any other defense, anything else to offer up to the court?
No, sir.
Let's see.
Judge, if I may, she sent in a CDC declaration yesterday.
Well, she did. Okay.
Mhm.
So your hours, Pam, you are contending that your hours were cut due to COVID.
Yes, sir.
How is that? How is that the case?
Because at first when I started working, I was there for full time, and then they started gradually decreasing our hours. So I wasn't even working to not even 6 hours a day.
I see, and that was because their business was affected by COVID restrictions.
Yes, sir. Correct. Yes, sir.
And you have made attempts to get rental assistance?
Yes, sir. I have, and everyone that I've contacted has turned me down or given me information to other companies, and I still haven't been able to receive any kind of rental assistance at all.
Okay.
Our office has not been notified of any documents to fill out on our side on that.
Okay.
And then a lady had called me yesterday for an interview, and I was on the phone with her for a while, and my application was denied. So she sent me an email with other information on, but I have reached out to these people as well. And I've also left messages, phone calls, I've sent emails, and I still haven't been able to receive any kind of rental assistance. And I'm actually still seeking assistance right now as well.
Okay. Then, since the CDC declaration has been filed with this court, Mr. Galt, you can, of course, get a copy of that from our court clerk.
Okay.
And I am forced to, by the CDC declaration, to stay this until January 31st of 2021. If you want to contest this in the meantime, you can do that, and we will have a hearing on that in 2 to 3 weeks. So it would save maybe a week or two, or a couple of weeks before the January 31st. The burden of proof would lay on the plaintiff. That would be on the landlord to prove that the CDC declaration is not valid. And if you choose to do that, that would be the procedure. If you choose not to do it, then we will automatically rehear your case after January 31st. And of course, you can amend the amount of back rent for the intervening time frame.
That's fine. That's fine.
So just wanted to let everyone know what is going on here. And so this case is stayed until after January 31st
Okay.
currently.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay.
Ms. Brown, did you have any further questions for the judge?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay. I'll go ahead and remove you from the meeting at this time. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. And then now I have a Mason Chance.
Okay. And this is with Kennedy Ridge and with Drew also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And do we have Ms. Chance?
Yes, I know I checked him in earlier. Let me see if he's one of these that got disconnected. Bear with me. This is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can I have your name, please?
it was Teresa Robertson. I had already been in the deal, but I'm at work and my
Okay.
phone got disconnected.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put you right back over in the waiting room, okay?
Okay. Solid.
This is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can you hear me? Hello, this is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay. Okay, just proceed with Drew at this point because Mason Chance either got disconnected or left or something.
Okay. Okay. And
He's got November and December.
this is on Mason Chance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm showing a rent of $695 per month.
Yes, sir. That's correct. So $13.90 for November and December.
$13.90. Okay. And showing that the defendant did not appear, it appears that there was an attempt for him to appear. Are you aware of the potential of a CDC declaration or the potential of a CDC declaration?
Yeah, I understand. Our office hasn't received one yet, so.
We do not show having received one either. And so I'm going to proceed with the eviction. I always caution the plaintiff that the paperwork, the information about it is, of course, on the paperwork that the defendant was served with. And so a declaration could be filed up until the actual date that they leave the premises. And
Understand.
could cause a stay in that case. But as of today, 29th of December, the judgment is for $13.90 and the bond is set at $695.
Okay.
Mr. Mason is Mr. Chance, actually, Mr. Mason Chance is evicted.
What is the standing on abatements hearings? Because I've got one from Toledo from a writ of possession that the day that he was there to do the writ, he gave the CDC form to the constable.
Okay, yeah.
But I know for a fact that one is invalid because the guy is working and so on and so on.
Then, of course, as I mentioned to you earlier, you will need to present evidence that the CDC declaration is not valid.
Okay.
You will receive a notice from us when our next abatement hearing is to be scheduled.
And I do believe, Drew, I did get the email from the constable regarding that one. Let me know like what had happened with I believe it was a Roman Garcia.
Yeah, yeah.
So there is a form for you to fill out. I can either, I don't know if I've already had you fill it out for that one or not.
I haven't. I got to come down there and do a writ today anyway, so I'll pick it up then.
Okay, that's fine. And it's easy to fill out. You can just fill it out here, and that way I can get that one set along with this other one.
Okay. And just a quick question, sidebar, whatever you want to call it, on that. On that particular case, is it possible to amend that case to breach of lease rather than to rental eviction? Because he's got pets and people in there and so on else that he's also gotten noticed for.
You can always amend a petition to satisfy the reasoning for the case. However, just FYI, it doesn't necessarily stop or interrupt a CDC declaration.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Unfortunately, we got a ruling from the Texas Supreme Court.
Okay.
Just 2 weeks ago that said that other reasons for eviction besides back rent do not necessarily apply if a CDC declaration has been filed.
Okay. Okay.
Again, our hands have been cuffed. I don't know of another way to put it. Cuffed again.
Yeah, I mean, because it really puts the landlord in a bad spot because this guy's got, it's just bad news all the way around, and he's doing it intentionally on the property.
Right, and of course, proper in the abatement hearing, we can hear evidence of that, and of course, if you can present evidence of that, then we can actually consider that.
Okay, that's fine. That makes sense.
Okay, do we have any other cases, Drew?
No, I think that's it for me.
That all for you this morning? Okay, well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
All right, I'm going to bring over Jimmy Flores, case 406 and 407. Mr. Flores, can you hear me? Mr. Flores, this is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I do have you on with the judge. I have that you have 2 cases today, Christopher Dawsey and a Sean Wilson.
Yes.
Okay, I'll let the judge.
Okay. Mr. Flores, are either Mr. Dawsey or Mr. Wilson in the hearing this morning?
I don't know.
I do not see them on the list. I do not think that they are. Mr. Flores, if you'll raise your right hand, please, to be sworn in.
Yes, sir.
You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
Okay, thank you. Then on the case, first case of Christopher Dawsey, on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
Well, he went crazy and started doing all kinds of damages. And at the time that I filed for the eviction, he got a dog inside, and it goes against the lease papers. And when I confront him, he responds very violent. And the next thing I knew is that he started breaking windows and everything around the mobile home park and start destroying the unit. And that's why.
You have breach of contract on several points there. And
Yes.
do you also have a back rent situation?
On him?
Yeah. Is there any back rent situation there? Any back rent owed?
Yes, it does. 2 months already.
2 months. Okay. I'm showing a monthly rent of $550. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you are saying 2 months, so that would be $1,100?
Yes, sir.
Back rent. Okay. Then I am ruling in your favor since the defendant did not appear this morning. Are you aware of a CDC declaration or anything like that that has been filed?
Yes, I'm aware.
There is a CDC.
And no, nothing of that is being filed.
No CDC declaration has been filed.
No.
Okay. Then I am ruling in your favor this morning, in favor of the plaintiff rather, and the judgment will be for $1,100 plus the court costs. And bond for appeal is set at $550. I am signing that today, December 29th of 2020.
One other question, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is my understanding that he's in jail and he violated his parole and also is being charged in several charges, making him unable to get off. But he does have a wife who came and picked up all the stuff that it was belonged to him pretty much, except for what he broke. So my question to you is, am I allowed to get in and clean up the property already, start repairing it? Because he broke absolutely all the windows, walls, and floor and everything. And the damage that he made on the mobile home is completely total.
You will have that right after the 5 days of right to appeal. So that means basically after next Tuesday, you would have the right to move whatever is left in the premises out with the constable, obviously.
Yes.
Okay. So you can file for that.
I'll do that.
Okay. Then going on to the second case, Sean Wilson. Is he with us today?
No.
Okay.
And it's also my understanding that he's in jail too.
I see. And so I'm showing a monthly rent of $600. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on what grounds are you seeking the eviction this morning?
He also put the dogs inside the properties, and one of the dogs escaped his from inside the house, and he bite one of the rentals or one of the people that he lives next to him, and is when I find out that he got dogs in his house.
Okay.
And he was not on the.
And you're not aware of a
Also,
CDC, you're not aware of any CDC declaration being filed?
No, they don't. They're not on that.
Okay. And how much in back rent are you seeking?
They owe since since October. They owe $400 since October, and then October, November, and December. So it says 600, 600, and 400. So it's $1,600.
$1,600. Okay.
On back due rent. Yes.
Okay. Then I am ruling in your favor, and the judgment is for $1,600. Bond is set at $600, and that is signed today, December 29th, 2020. I am showing a $1,600 judgment plus the court costs and the bond of $600. Okay. Do you have any other cases this morning?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.
Is that it?
Yes, yes, we are done with your case this morning. You may go.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Sorry, Judge. I had people at the door. Okay. Billy Flores is gone. Those were both evicted, correct?
Yes, they were.
Okay, then we will do case number 397.
Okay.
Okay, I have Bryce Thompson, Tyler Bryce Thompson. He is the plaintiff for case number 397 against Teresa Robertson. And let me pass that over. Teresa Robertson, can you hear me? Hello, this is Savannah with JP4. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, can I have your name, please? Can I have your name, please?
Teresa Robertson.
Okay, I have you on with the judge, also with landlord Bryce
Okay.
Thompson.
Yes.
Good morning to both of you. Mr. Thompson and Ms. Robertson, if you'll please raise your right hand to be sworn in this morning. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Thanks to both of you. Mr. Thompson, you are seeking the eviction of Teresa Robertson and all other occupants.
Yes.
And on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
The main one is just lack of payment. My father passed away in July, and he was the owner of the property. Now me and my sister own it, and since then, the total rent that we should have been paid is $5,225, and we've only been paid $1,500. So, she's almost $4,000 behind on rent.
I'm showing a monthly rent amount of $985. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you are seeking how much then in back rent?
With a $50 late penalty for every month, the number I have is $3,725.
Okay, that we cannot allow any late fees. It is simply the monthly rent times the number of months that the defendant is behind minus any payments made.
Okay.
What is that amount?
So that would be $995 times 5 minus $1,500.
Okay. $995 times 5.
Sorry, I would figure it myself, but I don't want it to mess up my Zoom call.
We're living in 157, 10 for less.
4,975. Okay, and then you said that how much had been made in payments? 1,500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so minus 1,500 is $3,475.
Okay.
So this is the amount that you were seeking then? $3,475?
Yes. But I don't know exactly how this works, but getting the property back is more important to me than the back pay. I mean, there's been ongoing issues, lots of lying. So
What, I'm just trying to get the dollar number at this point is 3475 for the judgment.
Okay.
Miss Brown, Miss Robertson, do you have a defense this morning?
Do I have what?
You have a defense this morning. Are you able to pay the back rent in the amount of $3,475?
Not at the moment. I tried to take it out of my annuity and that request got denied.
Did, okay.
And my lawyer was supposed to be sending some kind of declaration that I signed, but it never got sent.
What declaration are you talking about?
It was he gave me a copy of some CDC COVID declaration because my income had changed since my boyfriend moved out.
Are you contending that because of COVID that you have lost income?
Yes, because I went from being full-time with the city to being a temp as of March, and my boyfriend was helping me pay the full amount of the rent. And with my income going from $1,100 every 2 weeks to now, I get $375 a week.
And you have not filed the CDC declaration at this point.
No, I just have a signed copy that I had signed and he gave me a copy of. He was supposed to, but he didn't do that.
You're saying that you did sign a copy?
Yes.
And you gave this?
I signed it on the 3rd of November with my lawyer.
And
he said he would take care of it, and apparently he never did.
Okay.
Because he had me print out all of my bank statements, my paycheck stubs from last year, 2 of those, and then my paycheck stubs from this year.
Okay. Based on the CDC declaration, I'm going to stay this eviction until January 31st. In explanation to both parties, with the COVID crisis, the hands of the court have been tied by this CDC moratorium. If the defendant files a valid CDC declaration that their income has been severely affected by the COVID crisis, then the court cannot evict based on that COVID restriction. And the eviction was stayed until December 31st. That has been extended another month by the CDC to January 31st, which means that we will automatically rehear this case after January 31st. And of course, all rent that is owed through that time frame will be required to do that. If there are other rental contract violations other than non-payment of rent, as Mr. Thompson mentioned, that will be brought up at that time also, and possession of the property can be obtained even if the full rent was paid at that point, based on if there is proof of those other violations. I'm telling you a little bit here just so that both parties are aware of this. This is simply a delay of the proceeding. The entire amount of rent must be paid, and that will occur when the CDC moratorium ends. As of right now, it is scheduled to end on January 31st, 2021. So we are staying this case. We are essentially continuing it until after January 31st. Do both parties understand this?
Yes.
So is this based off of her just verbally telling you that she filled out the CDC document and her verbal acknowledge that her income has gone down?
Yes, it is. What I'm actually going to do is actually going to continue this case for 2 weeks. And we will check again in 2 weeks then to see if the CDC declaration has actually been filed. At that point in time, you could contest the CDC declaration if you felt that it was filed improperly. That is, if you can show that that her income was not affected by COVID. And so the burden of proof lays on the landlord in that hearing. But since the defendant is saying that she has signed a CDC declaration, but we have no record of it, I am forced to continue this case for 2 weeks to looks like the 12th of January, and to rehear the case at that point in time. And you would need to find that CDC declaration and get that to the court. If that declaration is not filed, then you will automatically be evicted.
Judge, how do I go about finding out if that was filed or not?
You can check with the court, and that should be, of course, filed immediately. So, I mean, within, you can check day by day, like, every couple of days, maybe, to see. I would check again next week and see if it's been filed, and then check again maybe on Monday before we hear the case on January 12th. I apologize to all parties. This is not the way that these proceedings normally go. And but of course, our hands have been tied by the CDC because of this COVID crisis, and so we have new regulations that have overridden all previous eviction laws.
I understand.
You have any further questions? Either party? Ms. Robertson, you do understand you must get that declaration into us. You can get a copy of the declaration from the court, talking with the clerk, with our clerk, Savannah, and you must file that, or you will be evicted immediately. You will be evicted at some point unless you can prove that there have been no lease violations. So after the 31st of January, we would rehear the case, and the eviction would proceed then. So.
And if I may, you do have a copy of the CDC declaration that was served to you by the constable with the eviction paperwork. Yes, it's served with every eviction paperwork. Every eviction citation has a CDC declaration attached to it. We're required by law to do that. And so all you would have to do is sign that, and your landlord's going to have a copy, and then the court needs a copy.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further on this case, Judge?
Pardon?
Anything further on this case?
No, nothing further.
Okay, Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Did you have any further questions or anything?
I don't guess so. I guess that's all for
And if
me.
you have any questions, just call the court, and I'll be more than happy to assist with whatever I can, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank
you, sir.
Have a good.
Okay, let me do. Okay, we'll do Ebony Walker. Wait, sorry. It's case number 398 and 399.
Okay.
Dakotex Investment. It's also known as the Cove.
Okay.
And I've got Christy. Christy is representing Dakotex Investment Group. And on her first case, she has a Ebony Walker. And let me get her on.
I am here.
Okay, just 1 second, Chrissy.
Okay.
They're connecting to audio. Just give me a second.
Okay.
This is Savannah with Precinct 4. Is this Ebony Walker?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
This
I
is
do have
Ebony
you
Walker.
on with Christy, who is representing Dakotex Investment Group, or the Cove, and the judge, and he
Yes,
will
ma'am.
proceed from here.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, Christy and Ebony, if both of you will please raise your right hand to be sworn in this morning.
Okay.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
Okay, thank you both. Then, Christy, you're representing the Cove.
Yes, sir.
You are seeking to evict Ebony Walker.
Yes, sir.
And on what grounds
I'm
are you,
representing myself.
on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
For unpaid rent, Your Honor.
Okay, for unpaid rent. I'm showing a monthly rent of $450. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how much in back rent are you seeking?
As of December, back rent is $2,250.
$2,250. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That is back rent alone.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Miss Walker, do you have a defense this morning?
Sir.
Are you prepared to pay the $2,250?
Sir, no, sir. I actually am not. The only defense that I am aware of is the community development is providing a payment thus far. As far as the full $225, I believe yes, $2,250 in the obligated rent of $450. Today, I am not prepared to pay the full amount, but it has been gestured to the courts and to Ms. Christie that there is a payment being made due to the pandemic. I've had to acquire further assistance.
Have you filed a CDC declaration?
Sir, I am not aware of a CDC declaration at this time.
Is it your contention that you have lost income due to COVID?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You received a CDC declaration notice with the papers that you were served with. When you were served, you received those. You have those papers?
Yes, sir.
There is a CDC declaration there. Are you going to, if you will fill that out, file
just disconnected. Okay, try to log back on. I'm on court right now.
Filling this out, assuming this will be returned into the Texas Eviction Diversion Program, would this be the same as the TEDP assistance program?
No, it is not. What this declaration is a legal document that must be filed with the court to stay the eviction until after January 31st.
Yes, sir.
After January 31st, when the CDC moratorium goes away, if it goes away at that time, then you would, of course, be evicted at that point in time unless other arrangements have been made in the meantime. So what you referred to is, of course, is part of that. The CDC declaration, for it to be valid, requires that you be seeking aid and that every attempt is made and that you can document and prove that you have indeed lost income due to COVID. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that's what would be required. And since a CDC declaration has not been filed, I'm going to have to continue this case for 2 weeks. You'll need to get that CDC declaration in immediately. And then the landlord would have the right to have a hearing to seek to abate. That means to end, to declare that CDC declaration invalid. They may do that or not, or they may choose simply to wait until after January 31st, and then we would rehear this eviction case.
Permission to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I was made aware of that additional. I have turned in a form of similar contact, but it's not quite labeled as the CDC. I believe it's on Miss Christie's end, and she would have to further explain it to you, the application that was turned in for further assistance due to COVID-19.
Okay.
I just wanted to get clarity so that I'm aware.
Right. That does not enter into this court proceeding. Only the CDC declaration. This court proceeding.
Yes, sir.
So that would need to be turned in to the court. That CDC declaration would need to be signed and turned in to the court, and then copies of that would be given to Christie at the Cove, and they would then decide on what course of action that they would take. You understand that now?
Yes, sir. I do have that here with me. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then you will need to get that CDC declaration into the court to our clerk. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I am continuing.
Understood, sir.
In light of probable CDC declaration, I continue this case to 1/12 of 2021.
Okay. What is the date?
January 12th, 2021.
Yes, sir.
Christy, do you have any questions about this?
No, sir, I don't. So the Texas Eviction Diversion Program, is that not going to go into effect?
Yeah.
Once?
That of course is that is a different issue.
Yes, sir.
The CDC declaration automatically stays any eviction until after January 31st.
Okay.
And for payment for rent, obviously, that gives you this month, over a month, to work out with the defendant, with Ms. Walker, you know, the other arrangements through the Texas through the Texas plan, and to see if that can satisfy can satisfy all the rent requirements so that that Ms. Walker could remain. If not, then of course the eviction would proceed as simply delayed.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. And
Thank you, Your Honor.
thank you, Ms. Walker. And we are continued until January 12th.
Okay.
January 12th.
Okay, Christy, and I am showing another case. Oops,
Oh, I thought that was her second one.
no.
Oh, let me unlock it. She'll get back in. Oh yeah, she had Fred Price. Here she is. Hold on.
Christy?
And she's connecting to audio.
Okay.
Chrissy,
I'm here. Sorry, I don't know what happened.
no, I accidentally removed you from the meeting. I forgot you had another case. My fault.
No worries. Is he on? Because I know he came by the office and said that he had lost.
He was, but I don't know where he went now.
Okay. How about I just bring him into my office and we do this?
That's fine.
Okay, hold on. Hi, Judge.
Hi, Christy. Now I can see you.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Come on in. Okay, grab your chair. Over here, so see you. We have Mr. Fred Price here with us.
Okay. Mr. Price, if you will please raise your right hand this morning to be sworn in. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes. Yes, John.
Thank you. Then, Christy, I am showing that you are seeking to evict Mr. Fred Price from the Cove Apartments.
Yes, Your Honor.
And on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
Unpaid rent in the amount of $1,850.
And that is unpaid rent alone.
Yes, Your Honor.
$1,850 of unpaid rent. And the monthly rent amount is $450?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Price, do you have a defense this morning?
No.
You're unable to pay the $1,850.
Right. I'm working on that. I also had got signed up with rental assistance, and we've worked with the information. We had to get back to them to see how much they'll be able to assist me on it.
And this rental assistance, what was the reason for this? Why did you need the rental assistance?
Well, I was getting unemployment, but they cut me off of unemployment.
Okay. And why were you unemployed? Because
well, we were let go. My job I was at with Cisco.
Cisco laid you off?
Let us out, yeah, let us out.
And was this just a general layoff or was this?
Well, when the COVID started coming, we delivered to a lot of schools, so they was stopping a lot of routes, and not that many employees said to stay with the company.
Okay. Is it your contention that your unemployment was caused by the COVID crisis?
Yes.
Have you filed a CDC declaration?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Are you aware of the CDC declaration?
No.
Did you see the papers that you were served for this eviction proceeding?
Yes, I have them. But I have them in front of me.
If you will look through those, do you see a CDC declaration in those papers?
So he's got this form.
It looks like the CDC declaration form.
Okay.
Sir, that form you need.
It's a temporary halt. Yes.
You're seeking, since you are seeking it, it appears that you meet the requirements for this CD declaration. This stays your eviction until after January 31st. You would need to fill that out and you would need to submit that to the court.
Okay.
Okay. And you would need to continue to proceed with everything that you're doing for rental assistance. This gives you an extra time frame. It was to end December 31st, but it has been extended until January 31st. But at some point, the moratorium will end and all back rent will be due, or an eviction will proceed. And so I caution you that that you may make every diligent effort to get the rental assistance required. Otherwise, you will eventually be evicted after the moratorium ends.
Okay.
Okay. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then if you will file that and return that to the court, since you have it and since the plaintiff is there and is aware of this, and since you have testified that your layoff was caused by COVID, then I am proceeding with the stay until after January 31st of this eviction. So you will need to get that into the court immediately.
Okay.
Okay. Christy, do you have any questions about this?
No, sir. Are we going to do a continuance on this one as well?
Since he has the form right there and is with you and knows where the form is, I'm going to go ahead and stay it today. And so that we avoid having a continued hearing. Just trying to keep the number of court cases down so that you don't have to show up again. Obviously, if you have any problems, Christy, and want to contest the CDC declaration, then you need to fill out the form with our clerk and seek that. If not, then we simply will rehear this case again after January 31st.
Okay.
Unless everything is dismissed in the meantime because rental assistance is
Yep.
place.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks, Savannah.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Let me see who this one is. This is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can you hear me? This is Savannah with Judge Cancino's office. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I have your name, please?
Jay Wynn.
Okay. And well, Leah Dollison was on here and now she's not on here again. I can't keep going back and forth. This is crazy. Okay, we'll just go ahead and proceed with the case, Judge.
Okay, and this is which case? Which case is this?
405.
405. Okay, Mr. Wynn.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and we at one time had Leah Dollison.
Yes, sir. She was on, but it keeps disconnecting her.
Okay.
She didn't do anything. She just put it on speakerphone and it just say goodbye.
Disconnected. Okay. Well, let us see if we can do this. I'm going to show that she did appear, even though she is not currently here, just in case that she does. Mr. Nguyen, you are seeking to evict Leah Dollison and all other occupants?
Yes, sir.
And what is the reason for the eviction?
Unpaid rent,
Unpaid rent in the amount of?
a total of 6,000. I have listed on the letter I gave her.
$6,000, and that is rent, back rent alone.
Correct.
And I'm showing a monthly rent of $1,500. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you aware of any possibility of a CDC declaration being filed in this case?
Yes, she gave it to me. She gave me that letter.
She did give you a CDC declaration.
Yes, sir.
Have you filed that with the court?
No, sir. I have submitted eviction, and then she came back and she gave me that letter later on.
Okay, all right.
Does she needs to give that to you, sir?
Yes, you will need to file that CDC declaration with the court. If you want to, at that same time, if you want to contest that CDC declaration, we will set up an abatement hearing where that CDC moratorium paperwork could be abated. That means overturned. If you can show that the burden of proof is on you to show that the CDC declaration does not apply.
I wish to proceed with the CDC and helping her in the same process.
Okay, so you're working with her. You're trying to work with her for rental.
Yes, sir.
Like that. Okay, that's good. I just wanted to be clear, since she is not here and we are having to look out for both parties.
I understand.
What I am doing is I am staying this eviction until after January 31st per the CDC declaration. And
yes,
I
sir.
want you to bring that to the court and to file that with Miss Savannah, our clerk. And this is officially stayed until after January 31st.
So I need to bring in that declaration to you?
Yes.
In that form, okay.
That's correct. Because the court needs to have proof that a CDC declaration has been filed.
I would do that. And then on January 1st, she has to apply also?
What you are working with her on for rental assistance and so forth, that is part of it. That would be part of proof. If she was not pursuing rental assistance, then that would be proof that the CDC moratorium does not apply to her. If she is seeking assistance, then the CDC moratorium applies, and we would hear all of that after January 31st.
Okay.
Okay.
And I read somewhere that they start taking application on January 1st. That's why I wasn't unclear what's going on.
Well, it is an odd situation. We're not one of the early parts of the country or parts of Texas to receive this, and so ours. Some areas have been doing it since October, but we don't start until January 1st, and so that's where we've got a lot of confusion and a lot of we're kind of in limbo, in a lot of ways with all of this crisis. So.
Yes, sir. I will bring that CDC declaration form in.
Okay. And I thank you. And do we have any other anything else? Any other cases this morning? Is this the only case?
This is the only case he has, yes.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Judge.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Nguyen.
You have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
There was one case with Jimmy Flores that with that Christopher Dawsey,
Mhm.
and there's a Laura Chavez on here that I believe is his maybe wife. Let me see if I can. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and do a different case, but in the meantime, let's see if I can get Jimmy back on the phone.
Okay.
For right now, let's do case number 400.
400.
I've got Angela Watson and I've got Ashley Gomez.
Hello.
Hello, Angela. She is representing Charles Schultz Realty, and Ashley Gomez is the defendant. Ashley, can you hear me? Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just keep all background noise to a minimum. Make sure you don't talk over each other, and make sure you give respect to the judge when speaking.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Angela and Ashley, if you'll both please raise your right hand this morning. You're sworn in. Thank you. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, thank you, Bro. Angela, you are seeking to evict Ashley Gomez.
Yes, sir.
And on what grounds are you seeking this eviction?
Well, she owes back rent in November for $695 that is still due for November. She also owes the full amount of $895 for December. Her rent amount is $895. This is like the second or third time I filed an eviction on her. It's very hard to communicate with her. She doesn't seem to make much of an effort to try to get anything paid. I don't think I've actually spoken to her since November. Just since the time that she moved in March, she's been pretty difficult to work with and collect the money. And the owner is very, very frustrated with the situation. So.
Okay. So you are seeking a total of $1,590 in back rent?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
That's correct, okay. And the monthly rent is $895?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay. And Miss Gomez, do you have a defense this morning?
I actually do, sir. It's not, I did try to communicate with her in November and told her that I needed a paper filled out. If she can fill it out for me so that I can get government assistance to get my rent paid, because I lost my job due to a murder that I was working at, and I lost my job ever since then. And it's been hard trying to get me on my feet. And yes, she's not lying. It has been difficult because when I got this apartment, it's when COVID happened, and I lost my job because I'm a waitress. So ever since then, but I haven't not tried to pay her nothing. But it's just been really hard for me the past 2 months because, like I said, I lost my job, and that's what was making my money. But I did.
Lost your job as a waitress because of the COVID crisis.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And in May, I lost my job because that's when we closed down the floor. And then I would like try to get jobs, and I would pay her. I got my stimulus, and I paid them with my stimulus. And like I paid my October rent because I was working at a really good job, and I paid them the $800 in cash. But then, like I said, my friend got murdered at the job I was working at, Paul Luna, and I was traumatized, and I had to get put on medication because I was having real bad insomnia. So, but I'm working again at Red Zone, and I'm trying to get money, but I don't got my food stamps no more. So I've been trying like to feed my kids at the same time too, while I'm trying to save money for rent, but I'm making like $40 a day and working only 2 hours a night. Sometimes 5 days a week, so it's kind of hard. But my daughter just got a job today. My son got a job today. I can pay her money. That's not no problem. Like I tried. It's just gonna have to give me some time, but I can give her money if that's what she wants. But I don't have nowhere to go if I get kicked out. Like I have nowhere to go with my kids at all.
Have you filed a CDC declaration?
I have that paper right now. I sent it to Miss Savannah, but I didn't know how to send it to you. I didn't send it to Miss Angela though. I did not do that. But I have that paper with me right now.
Have you already, you're saying that you sent it to Savannah. Have you already sent it to Savannah?
Yeah, I sent it to Savannah yesterday, sir, on an email. But I did not send it to Miss Angela, but I do have the paper whenever I got served from the constable or the sheriff, because I was at work at the time when they served me.
Then let me tell, of course, both of you what the situation is. The
Yes.
CDC moratorium was scheduled to end on December 31st, 2020. It has been extended 1 month to January 31st of 2021. And under the legal guidelines that the Texas Supreme Court has handed all of our courts, when a CDC declaration is filed, then we stay the case until the end of the moratorium period. The end of the moratorium period currently is scheduled January 31st. So that means that we are staying this eviction until after January 31st. We will rehear this. All back rent, of course, will be due at the end of the eviction period. So if you are seeking rental assistance, you get a little time, but you must pursue that. The landlord, Angela, has, of course, the right to contest any CDC declaration, and you would file that form with our court, and we would hear your case. The burden of proof is then on the landlord to show that the CDC declaration is invalid. And so both parties would then present their evidence. And Ms. Gomez, you would present evidence that it is valid, and the plaintiff would present evidence that it is not valid. That is a choice that can be made by the plaintiff. So Angela, you would have that choice to make whether to contest the case or not. As it stands right now, if that stands up, then the case is stayed until January 31st. We would hear it shortly after January 31st, and all back rent, of course, would be owed at that point in time.
Yes.
Okay. Can I ask a question, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the CDC Act, she would have to prove that she had COVID or whatnot or something to show. I mean, 2020 has been hard on everyone. And she is the only tenant that I have that won't make any effort to pay anything. I know that it's been difficult. I'm working with tons of people who make all sorts of payments. But I have not even spoken to her since the end of November. And so at the end, if I do protest it, I mean, can you send me a paper copy? I do have it. I have it right here. I'm just saying that she'll have to pay the rent or something. I mean, or to show something, because
to show that at least partial payments, that she is seeking rental assistance, that of course, the fact that she was laid off, again, if you can present proof that she was laid off for some reason other than COVID, then of course that would cause that CDC declaration to be ruled invalid. But if she was laid off because as a waitress because of COVID layoffs, then that counts. That counts towards the CDC declaration.
Yes, sir. I understand that, but she'll have to prove that she got laid off because of COVID.
That's correct.
Right? Because I have no way to do that. She changes jobs all the time, so I have no idea.
I know it's very difficult. You can imagine, in our situation here, I feel like our hands are tied in most cases. because of this situation. And so
Yes, sir.
I would caution you, Ms. Gomez, that, this, you will eventually be evicted at some point if arrangements cannot be made. I would be in touch with Angela, and I would make every attempt to make partial payments.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, yes, sir.
Good faith is what is shown. If there is an abatement hearing, the court will consider whether due diligence has been taken on both individuals' sides.
Yes, sir.
And so you would need to show that you are making every possible attempt to pay the rent and
Yes,
to communicate, obviously, with your landlord.
yes, yes, sir. I will. Yes, sir. I will.
You understand that?
Yes, sir. I will. And I would like to say that I wish I could show her proof, but it's like 50% at the restaurants. Like I wish I could show her my money that I make every day. Like I wish I could show her what I make a day, and then I would, she can like see that I'm trying to not make her something. But yes, sir, I will do everything I can to make payments because I can't lose my house. I need this for my kids. Like I have nowhere to go, so I just need her to have faith in me.
And
And
Ms. Gomez, I did want to add that I did receive your declaration page yesterday, but
Yes,
you
ma'am.
did not sign the back of it. And the way that you sent it is that the declaration page is the email, and you
Oh,
have to send that as an attachment. I can't print that out. So you
oh,
sent
okay.
a blank form,
In time
which
for
is the
this.
correct form, but you have to sign that.
Okay, and then send it back to you, ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Is there not any bearing that she didn't get that in on time?
unfortunately, unfortunately not. What I could do, let me explain the process here. If I went ahead with the eviction today, and she got the form in, it would be stayed automatically at that point in time. Okay, and so to avoid, to keep court time to the minimum amount possible, I'm going to go ahead and allow it today. If it does not come in, then of course you, in the abatement hearing, there is no charge for that, of course, then you would contest that in the abatement hearing. And of course, then we would proceed with the eviction if that's abated.
Okay. Yes, sir.
So just for your comfort, if she does not get the form in, then we proceed with the eviction. If she does get the form in, it's, that's what I'm going on right now. Then of course we're stayed until January 31st, unless you have an abatement hearing and win that contest.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
No, I understand. I'm just trying to go to bat for the lady who owns the place. So,
I feel for all sides in these things, and I wish that I had magical powers to fix it for everyone. But
yes, sir. No, I understand. It's the government. We just need some type of good faith. We need payments, basically, just like everybody else is doing.
And I will give it to you, Angela, like I've always have, and I've always tried to, ma'am. And I will give it to you.
Okay.
I will.
Ms. Gomez, if you will do that, then we won't have any problem. But
Thank you so much.
Just make diligent effort to do that.
Yes, sir. I will. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you both.
Thank you, Judge Cancino. Have a great New Year. I hope you and your family had a Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you, and I hope that you had a Merry Christmas also. And
Thank you.
Forward to 2021. I hope it's a much better year than 2020 has been.
Yes, sir. I second that.
That sounds good. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Bye.
Okay, Judge, I'm going to move over case number 413.
Okay. Okay.
I'll wait until they call you over. Go, okay.
Okay, this is Savannah with JP4. I have a Maria Rosales and Monica and Enrique.
Yes.
Monica and Enrique, can you hear me? Hold on, Jenny. Monica and Enrique, can you hear me? Okay, if you can just unmute yourself and then we will proceed with the case. Unmute.
There we go.
Okay. So I have Maria Flores.
I'm Monica.
Maria Ruselis.
Yes.
Okay. And I have Monica and Enrique Salas.
Yes.
Okay. If all of you please will raise your right hand to be sworn in this morning. You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do.
I do.
Thank you. Miss Ruselis, you are seeking to evict Monica and let's see, Monica Salas this morning. Is that correct?
Correct.
No other occupants. I am not showing, what is the grounds for the eviction?
Non-payment,
Non-payment of rent. What is the monthly rent amount?
$1,050.
$1,050. And how much in back rent are you seeking?
December rent.
December rent, so
Plus
that is
late.
1 month's rent, $1,050.
Correct. Plus late fees.
Okay. We are only considering the back rent, the $1,050. I am showing that the defendant is appearing this morning. Ms. Salas, do you have, what is your defense this morning?
We've been struggling with bills and just falling behind with work. He hasn't had much work, and I started a second job trying to pay bills. We just have been struggling a little bit trying to keep up, but we are trying to keep up with all of our bills. And we have been paying up to this date, you know, and we still intend to pay. It's just, we need a little bit of time.
Okay. And what is the reason for why you've gotten behind? What has caused this?
He had a slow in his job where he's still waiting to get paid for two jobs he did. And I just started working this second job to try to help pay the bills. I'm working at night now from 5 to 10 at Pete's Drive-In on 34th and Avenue A for 5 days a week now.
Okay. And sir, what is your name?
Enrique.
Enrique, okay. And Enrique, is it Enrique Salas?
No, Rivera.
Okay, Beretta, okay. And what is your employment?
I'm in metal buildings and any metal structure.
Construction, okay.
He does, yeah.
And you're
He's
waiting,
trying to keep buildings and fence it.
I got 2 people haven't paid me yet and just been waiting, you know.
okay, all right. And Miss Ruselis, have you worked with this couple previously on rental issues?
Previously, I have. They've always been late. I have not charged them the late fees, like it's stated on the contract. They make promises and then they don't pay. There's no communication. I've tried to contact them by phone. Their phone is out of service. Tried going to their house. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not. So it's like a back and forth thing that they promise to pay and then they don't pay.
Okay.
It's been for the last 2 months though, we've had problems up until now.
Okay.
It's just been the last 2 months.
And the reason for this is late. It's been hard to get paid on the construction jobs that you.
Yeah, and he's slowed down with work.
Okay. Are you aware of the CDC declaration?
About the rental assistant program?
No, the CDC declaration is an indication, is a declaration that you have, that COVID has been a problem in causing your loss of income.
Yeah.
Is that the case or not?
Yeah, because he had 2 jobs fall through that he didn't get to do because of COVID, because they got the employers that he was going to work for got the corona, so they canceled those 2 jobs, and he didn't get to go and work for those 2. So
Would you have proof of this?
we can get the ones that he was going to get hired with. They can write a statement for us showing that those jobs fell through because of COVID.
Okay. And you are not aware of the CDC declaration. The CDC declaration was actually part of your paperwork when you were served with the
I
eviction.
have them here.
If you'll look through that, you will see the CDC declaration. It is the duty of the court to make sure that everyone is aware of the CDC declarations. There are those people who have not been laid off, because of COVID, been laid off for other reasons. And so,
And I was laid off from my first job. That's why I was doing unemployment, and then I just got this other job. So, we have been struggling.
the CDC declaration, of course, has some requirements there. You must consider those before you would sign that, because the landlord has the right to an abatement hearing, which would contest that CDC declaration saying that you were not laid off or did not have reduced income because of COVID.
I was, though. I was laid off, and I have my unemployment papers as well.
You'll need to make copies of that because both of you would need to fill this out. Now, I'm actually only showing one defendant, and that is
me.
Yes, you're the only one on the lease. Okay, then only you would need to fill that out.
Okay.
And it would need to be, of course, your specific reason for being laid off. And you would need to have proof available in case there is an abatement hearing on this.
Yes, sir. And I was reading on the news about that program that we can work with for rental assistance but it would have to be with her. I would like to try to apply for that, but I didn't know how we go about it.
It appears from what Ms. Rousselis has said that it's been difficult to get in touch with you.
Well, we don't have any phones right now.
You will need to get in touch with them then.
Okay.
You'll need to make every diligent effort to be in touch with your landlord about this.
Yeah, we'll get a prepaid phone or something this week.
Okay, then you would need to pursue that. It sounds like they've been trying to work with you for the last couple of months, and so I see diligence on their side. I want to see diligence on your side also.
Yes, sir.
The program, of course, probably goes into effect starting January 1st, and so you'll need to be on this immediately.
Okay.
If this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay this eviction today based on the CDC declaration. That means that it must be submitted to the court immediately. Copy can be given to Ms. Rousselis.
Okay.
Now, what this does is this only delays the eviction process until after January 31st.
Okay.
It gives you time to get to see if you can get the payment due. After January 31st, the eviction will proceed and all back rent will be due in lump sum at that time.
I actually do have a $200 check that I can give her today too.
You can do that, then you would be in touch with her, then that would partially satisfy at least some of the requirements on that CDC
Yes, sir.
declaration. And anything that you can get to your landlord would help your case tremendously.
Thank you.
Okay. So what I am doing is I am staying this per the CDC declaration until after January 31st of 2021. And you will need to get that CDC declaration. If that isn't in to us today,
I'll do that today.
okay, then the eviction we would proceed with the eviction.
And how do I submit it? Do I do it online or?
The best thing is to bring it in. You can submit it online. Remember that signatures are required and you are signing a legal document. And so
Yes,
all requirements, you must tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
yes.
And,
Do you happen to know what the CDC paper looks like? I've looked through all of them and I don't see it.
If you need some assistance with that, Monica, you can just call into the office and I'd be more than happy to help you with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Usilis, do you have any questions or any comments here?
So it's my understanding they have until January 31st to pay December and January. Otherwise, the eviction will continue.
That's correct. Then we will hear this eviction case again after January 31st if full payments are not made.
Okay.
Okay.
And they need to be in contact with me in references to what's going on since they don't have a phone, correct?
That's correct. I think they understand. They're nodding that they will do this, and of course the court will take that into consideration if they do or not. So
okay,
we encourage them, definitely be in touch.
Yes.
Okay.
Any other
Thank you.
questions?
Can we just drop off that check on the Dropbox that she has?
As far as any payments or anything, you'll just do that normally out as you would with your landlord.
Okay.
Any paperwork or any further questions regarding the process or what comes next, feel free to call me, whether that be Monica and Enrique or Maria if you need to call as well.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Okay.
One more.
Oh, one more. Good.
Yeah, I had to get Jimmy Flores back on the line for case number 406. Because I did have Laura Chavez. I don't believe Chris Dossie is on the phone, but Laura Chavez is. And Jimmy, can you hear me? Miss Chavez, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
I'm Jimmy.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Flores, I've got you both on with the judge.
Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Flores, you were sworn in earlier. I'm going to ask Ms. Chavez to please raise your right hand to be sworn in this morning, or actually this afternoon now.
Okay.
You solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Then we heard this case earlier, but I'm going to go back to it now because for some reason, through technical difficulties, we were not able to have Ms. Chavez at that time. Now, Ms. Chavez, how are you related to Christopher Dossie?
That is my fiance.
He's your fiance. Are you living together at this time?
No, he's incarcerated.
He's incarcerated. And the amount of rent that I'm showing back rent is $1,100. Are you able to pay that at this time?
How is that 1,100 from my understanding? Because I didn't live with Christopher throughout the whole entire time. I lived with him off and on.
my last understanding from Christopher is for the month of December, he did not pay.
Mr. Flores, are you, is that $1,100 November and December rent?
It is a December. I didn't collect on December. I apologize. I'm looking at my records right here, and it is just December. I'm so sorry, sir.
So it is not $1,100, it's actually $550. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Then Ms. Chavez, do you have the ability to pay that $550?
No, Your Honor, I am not working. I have been on furlough since March.
Okay. And Mr. Dossi is unable to pay because he's incarcerated.
Correct.
How long has he been incarcerated?
December 5th.
It's December 5th. Okay. You are not living at this residence. You simply are here on his behalf in this hearing.
Correct. I am his power of attorney.
And I am going to proceed with the eviction as we went before with the change that instead of $1,100, the judgment will be for $550 plus the court costs. Bond?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Question, Your Honor. Before Mr. I don't know the landlord's name besides Jesse, I believe is his name. We never received a rental agreement, so I mean, I don't know if there's like late fees or anything like that. And before he's able to take anything out of inside the trailer, I need him to file the correct paperwork. That way he can take possession of whatever else is in the trailer.
Okay. The way this proceeds is that there is a 5-day right to appeal, which means that you have essentially 5 days to get everything out of the residence. At that point in time, then the landlord takes possession and sets everything else outside at that point in time. Does that make sense?
Yes, so he doesn't have to file that other paperwork with the court.
There is a writ of possession, obviously, that would be filed if a person does not vacate the premises, and that would be filed on the day after the 5 days is finished, on the 6th day. Okay, and so that would essentially be next Tuesday that writ of possession could be filed, and then possession could be taken by the landlord at that point in time.
Okay.
Mrs. Chavez, do you have something else that you need to remove from the property due to everything is destroyed? You know that property is inhabitable anymore.
Yes, I know that.
The fact that he destroyed all the windows, all the doors. Your Honor, that property doesn't have no doors, doesn't have no windows, and he destroyed absolutely everything. And Miss Chavez already went in there, and it is my understanding that she already removed all the items that apparently were in good condition and they belong to her or so. So my question is, Mrs. Chavez, would you give me authority to get in there and remove everything away so I can start fixing the unit?
I still have to go and make sure that I did receive everything because there are quite a few items missing from the property since you did not allow me access into it once everything happened with the standoff as of December 5th. So I still am going into the property, looking here and there to make sure items are still recovered because there's a lot of things missing from the property, including a social security card, my birth certificate, and the title to my vehicle.
Well, like I said, I'm not aware due to the fact that that property, it was completely open after all this happened. And
Correct, but you did not,
send some people. I'm sorry?
But you did not allow me access when I came back into town. You told me I could not get in there.
I wasn't able because you're not on the list and you did not identify yourself as
I did, and then I asked you.
Wife.
Okay.
I asked you, I'm not his wife. I am his fiance. And again, I had asked you for the police report number.
Okay, let me,
If I may, Judge, you two are not to speak to each other. You are to speak directly to the judge. You can't get this worked out outside of court, and that's why you're here. So we need you to be respectful and not argue when the judge is trying to speak to you and trying to make a decision on this case, okay?
okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes. Do
Yes.
both of you
Okay.
understand now that Ms. Chavez, you must have everything out of the apartment by the fifth day, or actually the 6th day, within 5 days. And so that you will need to visit with Mr. Flores about actual arrangements to get whatever else out that you can. Otherwise, he will be responsible with the writ of possession to, to get rid of everything else that's in the apartment. You understand that, Ms. Chavez?
Yes.
Okay. Then you will need to communicate with each other after court and take care of this to get that taken care of. And Mr. Flores, I would say that yes, I would visit with her about doing that, and I'm cautioning you only because of the mix-up in the $550 and the $1,100. Court does not look kindly upon that, those kind of mistakes, and so I'm wanting to make sure that everything is cleared there between the two of you. So you will take this outside the courtroom and work this out. And possession of the property will be yours on the 6th day.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much.
So the 6th day would be this January 4th?
It'll actually be yes. Actually, you can file an appeal up to 4:30 p.m. on January 4th. You must be out of the property on January 5th.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So everything has to be done by January 4th, or that's it. That's the end.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, we're done.
Okay. Thank goodness.
Mm-hmm. Hello.